Good morning, everybody. My name is Jeff Scanlon, and I am the Regional Manager of BNI Southwest Ohio, Northern Kentucky. Welcome to Week 8 of our BNI Buzz. We have something a little bit different this morning. We have with us one of the members of the Synergy chapter. His name is Brian Salee. Brian, thanks for being here.
Thanks for
And
having
he
me.
is here at the request of Laura Lella, who is also the Director Consultant for Synergy. And not too long in the past, Laura brought to my attention that Brian had a story to tell with respect to BNI, and it seems that BNI may have had a reasonably effective, positive impact on his business life. So we called Brian and asked him if he would be willing to share that thought, and he's pretty sure that he would, so we're going to pitch it over to Laura and have Laura interview Brian and see what Brian's comments might be. Laura?
Thank you. So you never know as a director when you're going to be inspired by a story, and I had a one-to-one with Brian probably a little over a month ago, and I started asking him questions. One, when I first met Brian, he had very long hair, an alarm beard, and dressed in jeans and a t-shirt. He does not look like that anymore. So I asked him, did you cut your hair because you're meeting with me today? As a joke, and he explained no, and had this wonderful story to talk about. It was very inspiring and really moved me. Surprised, honestly, I did not cry that day, but I think that we all could benefit from hearing different stories, not of what just BNI has impacted his business, but his personal life as well. So I'm going to turn it over to you to talk about what made you do that transformation.
First and foremost, my kids. So, back in my prior life, I wasn't too good of a feller. I was a drug addict. I did everything wrong in life. And at 3 years old, my father said he didn't want nothing to do with me. My grandfather, the preacher, stepped in and became the dad that I needed in my life. So in 2006, my grandfather got real sick with cancer and passed away, which spiraled me into my drug addiction to not give him a crap about nothing. I just wanted to cover and mask everything and forget the world even existed. I ended up in prison, in and out of jail, in and out of prison. So the last time I was in prison, my 6-year-old son at the time lost his mother to a drug overdose. At the same time, my family, my mother, my grandmother, everybody basically said, when you're done with your addiction, then you can come back and be a part of the family. That really woke me up. So then when I came home from prison, obviously went and got a job first and foremost. I was working with 2 women in a brush painting houses, making $500 a week. Took absolutely every penny that I made, saved every bit of it, went and filed a court motion to get custody of my child. Went and took counseling, drug tests, the whole 9 yards to better my life, to be there for my son. So in doing so, the $500 a week just wasn't cutting it. Being a single parent raising a child, it just wasn't. And above and beyond that, I wanted something better for my children in their life, so they didn't have to worry and suffer and have the problems and stresses that I had that led me to addiction, which led me to starting my own business. That was the thing to do, right? You can make a lot of money, do good things. So I started a gutter company. So that way when I'm gone, my kids don't have no financial worries. They don't have no issues. The only problem they ever have is to make their customers happy, to continue their lifestyle. So I did so, and I was doing some work for a feller named Dave Thompson with New Season Homes that used to be a BNI member. He just dropped out not long ago due to some family issues. So I went and visited the BNI Synergy chapter in May of 2019. And I liked it. I was hearing the return on investment everybody was making. I literally think I had $1,200 in my bank account at the time. $700-800 of it going to BNI basically wiped me out. So I basically was taking another risk. Something just told me I needed to do so. So I did. Since joining BNI, I've had 400% growth. I went from about $120,000 to $130,000 a year in sales to 2019. I had $441,000 in sales. Completely changed my life personally, business, the people, the relationships I've built. It's just a whole nother lifestyle. thousands of dollars in the bank. I don't have no worries on our bills are paid. We just bought our first house this year in June. Everything is just absolutely amazing, all because of BNI. All
That's
because
awesome.
of that one invite that I got and followed through with it.
And you made a comment about at some point the reason you had longer hair and a facial was that you didn't want to be seen. Is that
Well,
correct?
basically, when I got out of prison, I wanted to change everything about myself. The people I talked to, the things I done, the way I thought. You know, if you always think the way you always thought, you'll never change the way you think. I wanted to change the way I thought. I wanted to change the way I acted. I wanted to change the people I talked to, the relationships in my life, everything. So I did, including my appearance. You know, I wanted long hair. I didn't want to be the short-haired guy that was addicted to drugs and had problems his whole life no more. So I changed everything, and I told myself that I would always keep long hair. I would never go back to that person. And then I went to the breakfast awards ceremony, and I met Mr. Scanlon, Dr. Ivan Meisner. I ended up getting the book that Ivan Meisner wrote, Who's in Your Room? And I read it. And there went the long hair. Because now I don't have to have long hair no more to change. I just have to change the people I allow in my room. And then everything will change on its own. And I've lived by it, and here we are.
That was so that was a very impactful story that he had told me that day, and I didn't go into it knowing any of that. It started off, like I said, as a joke about meeting with me, and it turned my whole world upside down, and immediately was like, Jeff, you need to meet with him. And we spoke about it a couple days later, and we set this up for all of you to hear. I do have a couple questions for you. So you've kind of talked about it a little bit, but what do you like most about BNI?
The relationships that I built, the people that I've met. You know, before BNI, I had one family, and now I have several families. You know, I've got my Synergy family, and all the people that I have one-to-ones outside, you know, such as yourself. It's absolutely changed my world, the relationships and the people I talk to. It's allowed me to cut my hair and not have to worry about going back to the old me.
And you also talked about a little bit, you touched on it a little bit, but what has it done for your business?
Amazing growth. You know, before BNI, I was just doing private homeowner phone calls. You know, now I'm the #1 gutter guy for Fiesel Roofing Company, and I've got 32, 33 other subcontractors that I do work for, and over half of them come from doing one job. So another member in our chapter, James Curran, he referred me to a job from an ex-member, Susan Wiesman, which I ended up doing. It was an $8,000 gutter job that I did for her, which turned into 17 different builders seeing me doing that job that I now do work for. And we're getting ready to start a $185,000 32-unit apartment complex in the second week of March in Edgewood, Kentucky, due to the same referral. So
That's awesome.
it's amazing.
So you've done good work, it's paid off, you've gotten referral after referral after referral, so that's a really awesome story.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah. So what does your family think of you now?
They love me. I'm accepted to all family events and stuff. Again, we have an amazing relationship. Again, it's absolutely great.
Yeah.
Couldn't ask for nothing better.
So that's just a small portion of the story. We don't want to elaborate into it, but it goes to show you that BNI is about growing business first and foremost and changing your life, but it's about changing your life business-wise, but it's also about what it can do for you personally. And obviously this is just one of the many testimonials that I have heard that BNI has experienced with, impacting people's lives, and I just wanted to share that with everybody. I wanted him to share it really more than anything. Do you have any questions, Jeff?
Laura, thank you for
Welcome.
running a great interview, and Brian, thank you for sharing your story.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
I have to say that I am certainly impacted by Brian's story. And I'm glad that I was allowed to have a part in it. And I'll have to tell you, listening to what Brian had to say tells me that BNI has a platform to help its members grow its business when those members are committed and mindful enough to make the effort to grow the business, and that's what Brian's done. Brian decided to make a change, and when he did, we all celebrate his success. So we want to get this out, if I can, on the Monday Morning Buzz. So we'll cut it right here and thank everybody for their participation.